Good morning. um, what a strange night. Yeah, do you believe in the hockey gods? Because yeah, I think they made themselves known yesterday, or there was some strange sorcery going on. So okay, let's get right into this. These are two of the more normal games. um, First of all, yeah, your eyes aren't deceiving you. SeaWolves win. SeaWolves win. 3-1 SeaWolves over the Columbus River Dragons, who have been on a nice little heater there. So, yeah, in this game, it is Ed Coffey getting his second win in 30 starts for the Seawolves. So, I think the goalie situation has been kind of figured out, at least partially. William Lavalier, he is in net for the Columbus River Dragons. River Dragons score first. Kirk Underwood scoring in the first period, and then they just couldn't get any traction. And even though in the second and third periods the River Dragons had way more shots, doubling the shots on goal of Mississippi, they just couldn't get anything by Coffee. And lo and behold, you had a couple goals. It's a Hussey scoring at 4:03 of the third period to get the Seawolves game-winning goal. Crowd of 1972 goes home very happy. And yeah, this little number 3 looks a whole lot better than a 2. So my apologies. Had to have a little coughing spell there. So there we go. Yeah, the River Dragons fall to 9-2-3. Mississippi now 3-12-1. The other game had kind of a dark spell in it, or something. At least if you're a Zydeco fan, you're feeling that way. Yeah, 2-1 win. The Thunderbirds get off to the quick start, and then the game, another game that there's just no offensive traction. And this time it's Boris Babic, surprisingly getting the start. With Cavalieri as hot as he had been, I think everybody, including myself, expected him to be in goal. But Boris Babic gets a start. It's been a while, and he played really, really well. As did Brendan Colgan. He came out on the losing side of things, but Colgan stopped 35 of 37. Babic 24 of 25. So yeah, 2 goals in the first period by the Carolina Thunderbirds. It's Yuri Pastuka. He gets a game-winning goal at 14:53 of the first period, and then it's just a fight for the Zydeco to get into the game. Finally, Kevin Spad gets one past Babic. It's 2-1, and then the thing we gotta talk about is the last sequence. A minute to go, face off in the Carolina zone. Baton Rouge pulls Colgan for the extra attacker, and there's a mad scramble in front. Babic is caught out of position at the beyond the top of the crease. Somehow, some way, Clay Keeley comes in, glove outstretched, bats at a puck, uh, and YouTube, you get one camera angle from the angle that we all saw, looked like the puck crossed the line. But the play happens, the goal light goes on, but immediately the referees wave it off, say no goal, no goal. So they're right there. The one official is right behind the goal. All right, so they see what we can't. Zydeco challenge, and it's they look at it, and Everett Thompson thinks, well, we got to give this a shot. Look at it, to challenge a call. Now the call on the ice is no goal. They review it and they say, nope, no goal. We don't see the camera angles from right behind the goals. Remember, there is the video review system that the league has now. Cameras right behind the goal and on top of the goal as well. So if anyone's going to see if the puck crossed the line or not, it is, those cameras. So Clay Keeley with the save of the game, apparently. Um, like I said, I mean, from I'm watching it, it's like that crossed the line. Apparently not. So yeah, so Zydeco just fall a little short, but very entertaining game. 12-5-1 they are now, but they still got a hole in first place. Carolina 9-1-3 now equal in points, but with the amount of wins, the Zydeco get the tiebreaker. At least right now, how we're doing. Um, the whole tiebreaker procedure, because eventually the percentage is going to become the primary tiebreaker once we get everything figured out with the Venom in their games. Um, so, yeah. So, in a future world, Carolina would be in first, but in the real world right now, the Zydeco are in first. So, go figure. More strange sorcery. All right, as we change the boards, we get to this game. And all sorts of sorcery trying to wield its way against the Port Huron Prowlers. They were on the road over 24 hours. Most of us don't know that, but yeah, they left Thursday to get to Binghamton. Bus breaks down. And yeah, it's a good thing they left early, because if they had decided to leave Friday morning, this game would have been postponed. As it is, the puck drop was late because eventually the Prowlers had to get a U-Haul and several uh, passenger cars and whatnot so they could get into the game, and they arrived via caravan extremely late. During warmups, Prowlers had two players on the ice, the first two that got there, and then everybody else kind of started filtering in. In the meantime, they're getting dressed and ready in the back, and the game was delayed till about 7:40. But so the first thought is, oh, these guys are going to be messed up mentally. They're going to be exhausted. Hello, surprise, surprise. I don't know if the Black Bears kind of got suckered into a false sense of security or what, but the Prowlers came out to play, and play they did. So we get into this as the game begins. The Prowlers are all still catching their breath while they're on the bench at their mad scramble to get into the arena and get dressed and ready and everything. That Reed Cooper didn't even have a chance to take warm ups. So he's looking for his first Fed win. He comes in. He comes in cold. The entire team came in cold, and yet, tell you what a night for Tucker Scantlebury. Gets his first goal on a beautiful play. There's a bit of a breakdown in defensive zone, and Scantlebury, who comes in and kind of just lurks around in the high slot as the F3, he ends up getting a sweet pass from Reggie Millette. And actually, Millette passed. I forgot who got the primary assist, but Millette got the secondary assist. And anyway, Scantlebury puts the puck home, and it's 1-0 Prowlers. The Binghamton Black Bears did tie it up a couple minutes later as one of the Prowlers is in the sin bin, and Don Oliveri scores, tie things up. And then we had a breakaway goal by. I had just said it like maybe 5 minutes earlier on the chat. I said, watch out for Stefan Deasy. This guy's got talent. He's played in the Swiss League. Watch out for him. And he picks off a puck, goes in alone on a breakaway, backhands a puck past Nolan Egbert, and it is 2-1 at the end of one for the Prowlers. Shots were 9-7 in favor of Binghamton, but that's kind of a low shot total for a typical Binghamton Black Bears game. Very advantageous for the Prowlers. They like to clog things up, slow you down, and they played that game to perfection last night. Tucker Scantlebury scores at 148 as he wrapped around a puck on the post that Egbert didn't seal. And now it's 3-1. Tyson Kirkby, about a minute and a half later, he gets a puck in the high slot, and he gets the Black Bears back into it. It's 3-2, but the Black Bears were always like a step behind in this game. Prowlers, again, they did a great job clogging things up and not permitting a high speed attack. All right, 11:48. Tucker Scantlebury on the power play. He scores his hat trick. And so, yeah, pretty early in the game, he had a chance at a fourth goal, but it just, he ended up getting his pocket picked. 12:31, first of two extremely ugly incidents. Kenny Stiles ends up slew footing Nick Poirier, and he gets the gate. 5-minute major. And yeah, it was a clear slew foot. It was not good. Immediately, CJ Stubbs gets into the act. He defends his teammate, and Styles and Stubbs have a little disagreement in the corner. Players separate, and the night's over for Styles. So on the ensuing play, I mean, things kind of settled down. Things settled down for a while. But then at 16-19, Black Bears again make it interesting. It's on tail end of that power play, the 5-minute power play, and Jesse Anderson scores on a juicy rebound. It's now 4-3, and that's how we would end the second period. In the third, another ugly incident. CJ Stubbs ends up spearing Dan Chartrand in the gut from behind. If you watched on YouTube, it was as clear as day. The fans at Binghamton Arena are going nuts. It's a terrible call. It was spot on. So Stubbs' night is over. So both Styles and Stubbs are probably looking at suspensions. So anyway, the Prowlers had a very long 5-on-3 power play, could not convert. So Binghamton at the end, they get a power play with a little over 2 minutes left. They pulled they pulled Egbert for an extra attacker, but Cooper made a couple of big saves. And in the meantime, finally, right at the end, it's a puck that dribbles out, and Dan Chartrand just taps the puck into the empty net right as the horn sounded. The time of the goal is marked as 20 minutes, but you can't have that officially in stats, so we're going to call it 1959.9 is the time of the goal. So Sarchan puts the game away, and it's 5-3. So Scantlebury, the hat trick. Alex Johnson, 3 assists on the night. And Reed Cooper, he gets his first FPHL win, stopping 29-32. He made some really big saves when he had to. For the Black Bears, who are now 13-3-1, as the Prowlers improved to 7-8-2. Black Bears, Kirkby had a goal and assist, now 201 career FPHL points. Oliveri, with the power play goal, and Nolan Egbert, 16-20, not the best of nights for him. About 3,500 fans there in that game. And then, this game was to start at 7:35. It didn't, because a pane of glass broke. And so it took about 40 minutes for the crews to replace the pane of glass. Thankfully, the officials stuck around this time and didn't cut out early like they did with the scoreboard incident earlier this year. So yeah, this was a very entertaining game, and the Rockers get going really early. It's Andrew LaRusso getting a rare start. He faces Ricardo Gonzalez in the pipes. And at first, it's all Rockers. They take advantage of LaRusso maybe feeling a little bit green. Cody Oaks scores at 224 in a shorthanded situation. Rockers had just gotten called for a penalty like 10 seconds before, but Oaks scores, and it's 1-0. And then at 5:46, Tristan Wells puts one past LaRusso, and Hat Tricks fans are thinking, uh-oh, it could be a long night. But Danbury, as they sometimes do, they get off to a slow start and they start pouring on the shots. And it would be a shooting gallery when it all was said and done for the Hat Tricks. Johnny Ruiz scores on the power play at 19:31. It is so mentally tiring when you give up a goal in the last minute of a period or the first minute of the period. And Hat Tricks did both. It's 2-1 at the end of one. 19-12 was the shots in favor of the Hat Tricks in that first period. Once LaRusso settled in, Hat Tricks got going. 29 seconds before the end of the period, it's Ruiz scoring, and then 34 seconds in the second frame, it's Vadim Frolov scoring. But wait, there's more. 12 seconds later, Connor Woolley scores 3 goals, all in the span of, what is it? Quick math. Minute 17. 3 goals. Just bam, bam, bam. And suddenly, Danbury's in the lead. Okay, so later on in the period, it is Gleb Van Durken. Beautiful wraparound. The Russian line, or the vodka line, as I saw one fan call it. They are really doing things for the Hat Tricks. So that's a 15:04. It's 4-2. We get to the end of the period. Remember, I talked about that last minute or the first minute thing before. Eli Rivers scores for the from the Rockers at 19:17. And we got ourselves a game. It's 4-3 at the end of 2. Shots for the game so far at this point were 41 for Danbury, and 27 for the Rockers. That second period was just wide open. 22-15 shots in favor of the Hat Tricks in that second period. And then the third period, defenses start to clamp down a little bit, but there's still plenty of opportunities. And TJ Sneath scores on a power play goal at 1:15. It's 4-4. So the Rockers fans are feeling good. But then Alexander Gemzadov scores for the Hat Tricks at 8:12. Briefly puts the Hat Tricks up. We get right towards the end of the game. It's panic at the disco time. So the Rockers get a power play opportunity. They pull Gonzalez, and the gamble works on the 6-on-4 essentially power play. Jameson Malam scores on a blistering shot from the point at 18:38 to send this game into overtime. In overtime, both teams got 5 opportunities or 5 shots. Both goaltenders came up huge, so we go to the shootout. And Connor Woolley scores in the first round to put the pressure on the Rockers. No goal, no shot. First round's 1-0. Second round, it's still 1-0. Third round, 1-0. But on the Rockers' last opportunity, Adam Kuhn scores and is tied up. And then the fourth round, Zach Pamelayan takes a shot, beats Gonzalez, but hits the crossbar. Game of inches. And in the ensuing opportunity, Eli Rivers scores past LaRusso, 6-5, the shootout win in Big Boy Arena. 470 fans on hand. Where were the rest of you? Because you missed a heck of a game. Amazing game. Van Durken, a goal and 2 assists, as Gemzadov also had. LaRusso, he ends up going 34-39 in the saves department, plus he made 2 stops in the shootout. For the Rockers, it's Jameson Malam. He himself had a goal and 2 assists, as did TJ Sneath. So a goal and 2 assists. That was the theme of the night. And Eli Rivers, of course, he had a goal and an assist and that shootout winner. Gonzalez stops 52 of 57 plus. He gets credited with the 3 saves in the shootout, but to no avail. The Rockers are suddenly looking good. 6-9. They have won 3 of their last 4. And for the hat tricks, they fall to 6-5-4. And finally, this game. Do you believe in curses? I'm beginning to think the Dashers do, because my goodness, this game. Yeah, we get into let's get into it. It's Sean Kuhn versus Oscar Wahlgren in goal, and Moccasins start off pretty strong. It's Corey Cunningham going 5-hole on Wahlgren at 7:50 of the first, and yeah, Cunningham with his first goal since getting traded to the Moccasins. Not too long after that, it's 12:28. It's Jacob Gagnon scoring for the Dashers, and small crowd, but they made a lot of noise. And when this goal happened, I thought there were a couple thousand fans in there. It was loud. Um, Good to hear. So it's 1-1 at the end of one. Shots were 12-8 in favor of Monroe in the first period. In the second, it's Ben Steinway scoring. He had a 2-on-1 opportunity, looked to pass, and just ended up taking the shot from the wing, and it gets past Kuhn, past Wahlgren, excuse me. So it is 2-1. And then at 18:15, it's Blake Anderson scoring on the power play. It looks like Monroe's got this under control until things got interesting. 18:40, just a short time later, it's Brendan Stoshevsky scoring to make it 3-2. So we go into the locker room. Dasher's only down a goal, so they're not feeling great, but they're feeling better. Shots were 13-9 in favor of Monroe in that second period. And then things just got wacky. Third period, Dashers come out with a flurry, and it's Stoychevsky scoring again at 10:41 to tie things up. And just 40 seconds later, Thomas Murphy, of all people, Thomas Murphy, Mr. Fisticuffs for the Dashers, he scores his first goal. And it is 4-3 in favor of the Moccasins. And we're starting to get later into the game and later into the game. And the Dashers are thinking, maybe we can win one. Maybe we can get things, figure it out. Get on a heater. And then Lester Brown shoots a puck into the crowd, delay of game penalty. And immediately, you knew this was not meant to be for the Dashers. Sure enough, on the ensuing power play, it is it's Schumacher scoring on the power play, tie things up, and things get worse from there. That's the 16:59 mark. Just a minute 3 later, there is pressure in the offensive zone for the Monroe Moccasins. They're generating shots. They're getting they're circling the puck. Scotty Koash fires a somewhat harmless shot, and it ends up bouncing off of Wahlgren's glove and into the net at 18:02. And the fans, everything just dropped. I have never felt the emotions of a crowd without actually being in it like I did there. It was just. It was one of those moments. It is mad sorcery. 5-4 Monroe Moccasins win. They improve to 7-4. The Dashers 112-2, and I mean they played well for a good chunk of this game. Excuse me, Scotty Koash with the game-winning goal and the assist. It's Koivuniemi getting 2 assists. And Kuhn stopped just enough, 23 of 27. He gets the win. Stochesky, 2 goals and an assist. Jacob Gagnon, goal and assist. And Oscar Walgren, one more save. He needed one more save. 33 of 38 on a night. What a night. And then, oops. Yeah. So I know I'm going a little bit long, but I got to talk about this. And I understand that the issues that took place are not on the team itself, on the Athens Rock Lobsters organization. It's on the venue, it's on the construction crew. I get that. But 4 hours before puck drop, the social media team for Athens and makes a post. We can't wait to see you all there. It's going to be fantastic first home game. And half an hour later, the game is announced as postponed. 30 minutes. And for those of you who don't know, the reason why the game was postponed was a faulty fire alarm panel, and because that was in place, the fire marshal could not award the certificate of occupancy to Athens, so they could not safely play the game. Why are you leaving that till game day? Why wasn't that done a couple days ago? Why wasn't that inspection done a couple days ago? Again, I know the organization. Yeah, it's not on them, but it's just a bad look. It's a very, very bad look. Meanwhile, yeah, these guys, the Bobcats, were 4/5 of the way there. They were only an hour away from the arena. They get the call. Yeah, we can't play this weekend. Go home. So there's a lot of gas wasted, but what are you gonna do? So just the way it was handled, not good. Yeah, again, you don't leave something like this to game day. And if it's getting pushed back to game day, then you postpone in plenty of time and say we need another week before we can get our stuff together and host a game. So I do not hold the Rock Lobsters directly responsible, but I hold them responsible for not making a timely announcement. Um, a lot of fans very put out. A lot of fans commented that they had traveled to come see the team play, and it's like, well, can I get my hotel reservation fees refunded? Yeah, not going to happen. So what a strange night in the Fed. I hope we have a little bit more of a normal night tonight, but we'll see. Fingers crossed. All right, I know I've gone long, but what can you say? I am Gary Ryan for the Fed League Flash. Have yourselves a wonderful Saturday. We'll see you tomorrow here on YouTube.